Hey everyone, I'm Ricky, and today I'm going to be doing a character tier list, and this time it is for the characters of All of Us Are Dead, Season 1. Now, I just posted my finale reaction yesterday. You can go check that out. I will link it somewhere here. People had said that they wanted me to do a character tier list, so I'm going to do that right now. I did one for Money Heist. That was the first one I ever did, and I enjoyed it. So, we're getting into this one now. So, I have all of the tiers here. So there was like a preset of these things, and the F tier just said Onjo on it. I was like, that is disrespectful to Onjo. But I will say there are quite a few characters who I don't know what their names are, so I do apologize for that. If I don't know their names, I'm just gonna call them by like characteristics that they had, so don't bully me in the comments if I don't know someone's name, please. Thank you. Alright, first up, this girl who was on the roof with the other kid that was getting bullied. She was kind of one of the main targets of the main three bullies of the school. In the first episode, we talked about how she wanted to die. She almost did it, but she was saved by the other kid that was getting bullied. She made the decision to try and go stop everyone from in her phone. She was very determined, I'll call her that, and she got revenge on some of the people that were mean to her or didn't take actions. Like, for example, one of the school administrators. She either killed him or she turned him into a zombie, I can't remember. Then, in the last half of the season, there was nothing to her. She basically was kept in a little cell and then nothing really happened. She killed a other kid that was getting bullied. I wanted to root for her a lot in the beginning, but sort of by the end, her character just kind of devolved into, she was like what they call a Hamby. She had more zombie-like characteristics than she did human, so I think I'm going to put her in C, just because there wasn't anything too special about her character that I would say after she killed the school administrator, and she tried to burn the school down. Obviously that didn't work either. Her character just kind of like flatlined near the end of it, so I'm gonna put her in C. Next up is Guinam. Okay, big one here. A lot of people love Guinam, and I understand the love for him. He's like one of those characters that you love to hate because the actor that plays him does like a hateful bully character so well. He makes you feel like visceral emotions and stuff. As a character, I hate him. However, he was one of the main antagonists, and he was a legitimate threat in the whole show, and if he wasn't a part of this, I don't know if the whole show would have worked quite as well as it did. So I have to give him credit for that. I'm not taking into account the performances from the actors. I'm going to try to keep that separate and just look at them as a character. He was a very well done villain, and I think for that reason, I'm going to put him in A tier. Even though I hated his character, for all the reasons I've mentioned previously, like he was a looming threat that you were actually worried about what he was going to do to certain people, and he ended up killing quite a few of the main cast, so I'll put him in A tier. He's definitely not an S tier. This is... who the hell is this? Who the heck is this? I think this is the girl that was first bitten. So she obviously turned in, I think, the first episode. Wasn't really much to her character. We found out later that she was part of the bullies that like harassed everybody. I'm going to put her... I mean, she wasn't like an awful character, but we just really didn't see anything of her, so we'll go with D. We'll go with D. No, we'll go with F. F tier for you. The archery boy. He was a very solid character. He wasn't anything that was too spectacular. He wasn't really bad. He was a very solid, good character. He was kind of a voice of reason along with the other guy that was in the bathroom with them originally, and he helped save a lot of the students technically with his arrows along with Hari, and he had a really good attempt to try to kill Guinam before he turned him into a zombie, so he was just very solid. You know, he wasn't anything that was too spectacular. He didn't have too much character development, so I think he's just a good, solid character. B tier. Bully Kid, the main bully kid. I hate him. He was a coward. I don't like him at all. F tier. Alright, this kid, along with the girl that was bullied, he was one of also the main targets of the three bullies, and he was a lot more, I guess you could call him cowardly than she was. He didn't go back into the school when she was trying to smash all the phones. He did not let any of the students out onto the rooftop when he was being saved, and then he ended up just dying to her afterwards, and I don't know. I'll put them in D tier. I really thought, like, these two in C and D right now, I really thought they were going to be, I don't want to say a lot more likable, but I thought I would like them a lot more than I did, and they just kind of turned out to be characters that the show probably could do without. The guy more so than the girl. Like, I think she had a lot more plot relevance than he did, so that's why he's in D right now. This is, who the hell is that? I think this is the kid that was in the bathroom with the other 3 people. He was a fine character. He was good comic relief. He, along with this kid, had a noble sacrifice as well. You know, he jumped off the wheelbarrow to, like, stop all the zombies from attacking him in the gym. I thought he was very solid character. Again, very good, solid character. B tier for him. Okay, this girl, I believe, is the one that was up Namra's ass the entire time, talking about let's get rid of her when she turned into a half zombie, and then also left Pink Sweater Girl behind and just ran away from her, and then that ended up actually killing her. I didn't like her. I did not like her this season. I'm kind of glad she got turned into a zombie. I did not like, in the later episodes, I felt bad for almost every single character whenever they got bitten or turned into a zombie or they died. Her, I was just like, good, like, that's what you get. So I'm gonna put her in D tier. She's not quite as unlikable as the bully kids, so she'll go in D tier for me. All right, Chung-san, like, is this even a question? S tier for Chung-san. He was one of the best characters of the entire show. I've heard some theories that people still think he's alive, but there's no freaking way. He fell down that entire shaft thing and got burned and exploded with all the other zombies. I don't think there's any way that he is alive right now, unfortunately. I mean, it would be great if he was. Season 2, having Chung-san come back, that would be amazing, but in any case, he is an S tier, absolutely. This girl's an interesting one. She's the one that I also was rooting for, how even though she said like maybe a few sentences the entire time, and I think she turned into a zombie in episode 3. She was pregnant, she had her baby, and she was able to make it into the chicken store that Chung-san's mom owned, hid the baby from the zombies, and tied herself up so that when she turned into a zombie, she couldn't get to the baby, which is very commendable. And I probably would have liked her character a lot more if she had more character development, but because she didn't, I'm going to put her in C tier. It's not that I didn't like her, so I don't want to put her in D tier, but she wasn't somebody that was, I would say, like a good solid character that had good moments. She just had like the one moment after she had the baby and protected it, which is commendable, yes, but I mean, she turned into a zombie episode 3 and then was done, so C tier for her. This is the kid that Nayoung was calling Wealthy. I don't remember his name. He was the first one that I cried at when he turned into a zombie, and he is a very specific case of being the only one to turn into a zombie where we saw exactly what he was seeing before he turned into a zombie, and all of his hallucinations of all the other people that he thought were laughing at him and turning all like zombie-like with gray eyes and everything, even though that was not happening. So that was very interesting. I did really like him as a character. I wanted him to survive longer. He had nice moments with Chung-san. I think I'm going to put him in A tier. I kind of wish he survived, but zombie shows, they need sacrifices, so he was one of them, unfortunately. All right, Eunjo's dad. I'm going to put Eunjo's dad in A tier as well. I think that, by the way, I'm going to, once I am finished with all this, I'm going to put them in order of like where I would put them in their specific tiers. He was a very, very, very good character. I was rooting for him the entire time. I had a feeling he was going to make a sacrifice or something for his daughter. It ended up doing, so I don't know if that was predictable, but he still was a great character. He was able to save the kids. He got all the zombies kind of lured away from them so that they could escape. God, I want to put him in S tier. I feel like there's like other characters that I liked just that much more. So even though I think he would definitely be at the top of A tier, so I'll see after I'm done putting everyone where they are, and he would be at the top of A tier. All right, Pink Sweater Girl. Oh my gosh, she honestly annoyed me all season. All she kept doing was falling down. She didn't really have much relevance, or she would like stand back while everybody else is trying to fight. There's times where she did fight back, so like good for her, but she annoyed me, so I'm gonna put her in D tier. She's probably on the higher part of D tier. Like, I liked her more than whoever else I'm gonna put in D tier, but every single time she fell, I was like, oh my gosh, can this girl just die already? All right, Hari. I love Hari. I don't think I love her as much as people that are going to be in S tier, but she's a definite high A tier for me. I really like her. She had a lot of really good moments, especially with, and I might as well put her up here too, Her name is either Mijin or Jimin. I can't remember exactly what, but these two together they had great chemistry. They had really good moments. I loved all the character development. Honestly, I would probably put her in S tier because she was one of my favorite characters for sure. Haru is so close to being an S tier, but maybe in season 2 she'll become that. But I was so happy that those two joined the main group of kids and were able to survive as well. So yeah, S tier for her, A tier for her. This one, I think his name is Junyoung, I'm pretty sure. He almost made it. He had the idea, along with Namra, to create a barricade to get out of the gymnasium with all of the volleyball crates. And he had the idea to stack them high so that they couldn't climb over. Unfortunately, he was one of those things that kind of made a stupid decision to just put his hand right next to where a zombie could bite it, and of course they did bite it. However, then after that, he did make, again, noble sacrifices all around. He made one of those by trying to pull all the zombies off, and he had like one of the most memorable lines that makes me cry when I think about it, which is, "Let's go home." I really, really liked his character. I want to put him in S tier, but I also want to put him in A tier. I'm going to put him in A tier for now, and then by the end of the video, I actually might change my mind on that. I'm not sure yet. Okay, assembly member. She... don't know her name either. I'm realizing that I didn't know a lot of people's names in this. I really liked her. I actually did not think I was going to like her. I thought she would be one of those ones who didn't have really much of a moral compass like most of the other adults in the show, but she was one of the few that actually did and tried her best to save her people in Hyosan, even at the pushback of all of the military members and the guards and everything like that. So I'm going to put her in A tier as well. There's a lot of A tiers. There's really good characters. Okay, everyone knows, if you've seen my reactions, Miss Park, like, I don't even need to put her anywhere else other than number 1, S tier. She was my absolute favorite character. Well, actually, there might be one more person that rivals her. We'll get to her. If you watch my reactions, you know Miss Park. I believe she's still alive. I think she's one of the people that is like Namra. I love Miss Park. I hate that she went out to try to save Neon, but she did it, and it was, I don't know. I fully think that we didn't see her turn. We didn't see her in all the group of zombies that got bombed. I think she's still alive. I want her in season 2. I love her. S tier, for sure. Okay, Orange Hat Dude. He was one of the kind of comic relief characters, and you thought that he was going to leave the detective behind when he left on his motorcycle, but then he ended up coming back with the bus and was able to save the detective with him. He came in late in the season, and then after that, he was just kind of like locked up in quarantine, and then that was it. There was really nothing else. So I think he was just a fine character. I'm gonna put him in C tier. The detective, he is actually an interesting one. I originally did not like him. I thought he was going to be a villain, and he wasn't actually. He was very noble in trying to save literally every single person that he could, and he had a lot of good back and forth with another guy that I'm sure is on here somewhere. Oh, wait a minute. The guy that he was with the helmet, oh, wait a minute. Okay. I misspoke. This guy is not the one that came back to save him. There's another guy that came back to save both of these people in the bus that left, but he's not on this tier list for some reason. But the guy with the helmet, he actually had a lot of good back and forth with the detective. I would put both of them in B tier, but for some reason, I don't think he's here. Unless, like, I'm blind right now, but I don't see him yet. But yeah, B tier for both of them. And then this guy with the leg, he actually really didn't do much. I'm gonna put him in D tier. So the military commander, there's times where I didn't like him at all, and then there's times where I sympathized with him and I felt bad for him. I think overall, he had a lot of tough decisions to make, and like, I empathize with him in that regard. However, I don't think he was the most likable of the show. He did have a very emotional, sad moment when whatever happened to him happened, you know, at the end of the season. But I think overall as a character, it's not that I like fully didn't like him. I think I'd put him in a solid C tier. I think that's fair. Namra, we already know. I think everyone's in a consensus about this. She is a queen. She belongs in S tier. Her and Miss Park are the two where I'm like, these two are my absolute favorites, and I want both of them in season 2. What can you say? They're both queens. I love both of them. Namra's S tier. There's no question about that. Daesoo, you know what? Actually, okay, I lied. Maybe Dae-soo rivals these two as well. Because Dae-soo, I said a couple times actually that he was my favorite character. Wow, I didn't realize how many people I really liked in the show. Yeah, no, Dae-soo, Namra, Miss Park, like easily top 3 for me. Like nobody else even comes close to them. Like if there was like an S+ tier, I would put them above anybody else that's in S tier. But yeah, they absolutely belong in S tier with Jung-san and this girl who I think is either Jimin or Mijin. I need to look it up. Hold on, let me look up her name. Okay, I looked it up. It's Mijin. Okay, I knew it was one of them. I think there's a girl down here that her name's Jimin, and so I just get their names confused. But yeah, hers is Mijin. I really liked her. Oh, Principal. He can go fuck himself. I was glad that when Guinam stabbed him and killed him. F tier. We don't like him. Soo-hyuk is an easy, obviously S tier. I feel like he's almost everyone's favorite. I feel like it's very, like, I'm not in the minority by having all the people that are in S tier in S tier. I think everyone can probably agree with all of these. These ones down here, I'm not quite sure how people would rank them. Eunjo, okay, apparently Eunjo is a very polarizing character, which I will say, honestly, in the beginning, I was not feeling her at all. I was just like, I don't care about her. I don't care about her crush. I don't care about who's crushing on her. Like, I was just like, whatever. And I will say, overall, relationship storylines in the show were probably the weakest part of the show. Even though they weren't like bad, it's just there were a lot more things that were more interesting. And so in the beginning, that's kind of all that was happening with her, right? I really did grow to like her, and I was just like, she is so smart. She made some of the smartest decisions in the show, and she was very resilient. She was super tough. She lost so many like friends, her dad, all this stuff, and she still kept going. She was a fighter, even though she wasn't very strong. Like, I honestly ended up really liking her a lot. I don't think I would put her in S tier, but I'm gonna put her in A tier. Even though I originally didn't really like her, I grew to like her. I think that's a fair assessment. All right, this guy he's the guard that let Soju, Eunjo's father, out after he kind of got, well, okay, so he got beaten up, but then he kind of covered for the assembly member, said that she had nothing to do with it, but then he just kind of like went along with them eventually and was on their side, and then he got locked up for it. He was a solid character. There wasn't really much to him, but he was very solid, good overall, so I put him in B tier. Nayeon, oh my gosh, if she didn't have that redemption moment, I would have put her in F tier. She played such a good mean girl. This actress, I love her, but again, I'm not trying to like base it on how they performed it. I'm just saying like the characters themselves. And she did one of the worst things, I think, in the show, which was purposefully infect the kid she called Wealthy into being a zombie and essentially killed him. So for that, like, she can go fuck herself. However, she did have that going back and forth between wanting to open the door, wanting to bring out food, whatever, but she heard all the things they were saying about her, and then she finally decided to go for it after she was thinking about what Miss Park said, was going to bring up food to them, but then unfortunately her redemption arc was cut short by Guinam. I think, honestly, because the mean girl trope was just really prevalent with her, and she's another one like Guinam that you would love to hate, and she did have the redemption arc, she was going to try to help them out, I think I would put her in an A tier, honestly. This little girl, okay, I really like the little girl, but like, honestly, kids in horror shows, like, they're so useless, even though I thought she was so cute. I hated every time I saw her crying, but kids in horror shows, like, they don't really do much, they just kind of hold people back, right? And that's kind of what the purpose of her character was, so I can't in good conscience put her anywhere above D tier. I'm not gonna put her in F tier because I didn't hate her. However, the kid characters are always plot devices to hold back some of the main characters, and that's what she was, so I have to put her in D tier. This girl, I think this is the girl that died in episode 2, or became a zombie in episode 2, and she was one of Eunjo's really good friends, I think. I think they were holding her out the window when she was falling. I'm pretty sure that was that girl. I don't remember really anything about her. I'm sorry, girl. I'm sure you're really nice. I had to put her in D tier. This guy was kind of the right-hand man of the assembly member. There wasn't really much to his character either. He was very steadfast on trying to help her and by any means possible, and he even created a shield to try to protect her, so I can commend him for that and doing that. However, again, he's not one of those characters where I really thought anything of him. He wasn't a bad character, but he wasn't like a good solid character. He would just be in C tier for me. Woojin, I liked him. I liked that he was able to have kind of a coming together moment with Hari. I liked him and Dae-soo's back and forth. I don't think he was one of my favorite characters. He seemed like the type that he didn't have enough development to really live on in the season, which granted, neither did Pink Sweater Girl that falls down all the time. I definitely liked him a lot better than Pink Sweater Girl. I'm gonna put him in B tier. Very solid character. I got emotional when he turned into a zombie too. Okay, this one this is the one where I have actually no idea where to put him. So the science teacher, if you really think about it, he's the purpose of this whole zombie outbreak. He's the reason why all these people are dying, turning into zombies, and they got bombed, and the zombie outbreak and everything. It's all his fault because he was trying to help his son, who was constantly getting bullied and harassed. He was suicidal. He tried to kill himself multiple times, and he had just had enough of it. And no matter where they moved, the bullies would follow him, everything like that. So I commend him for trying to do something to help. However, maybe it was ill-advised what he tried to do by creating a superhuman son or whatever the hell he was trying to do. But he also was very influential in trying to find out how to stop it too. So he had a lot of pros and cons. I also do think, along with Miss Park, I do think that he survived. I think that he's a half zombie because we did see him turn per se, but like he wasn't doing the zombie clicks and moves and the head turns and everything and walking weird. He continued to walk straight forward in a line, or just kind of like how Namra did. Okay, overall as a character, I can't in good conscience put him in S tier because he definitely wasn't like my favorite like the rest of them. He is one of the most important characters in the entire show, so I don't think I can put him in B tier. So I think A tier is a solid place for him. So I need to order these people now. So I think, okay, see, this is the toughest part of the video right here. Namra, Miss Park, Daesoo. Where do I put them? I'm kidding myself if I would say that Daesoo isn't my favorite character. I thought Miss Park was for a second, but then I was like, wait a minute, Daesoo. I would say Daesoo first, number one. Miss Park, like the closest second to Daesoo, and then Namra is 3. I love all 3 of these characters. Like, if I could put them all in the same number 1 spot, I probably would. But Chungsun, and then Mijin, and then Soohyuk. I would put Soohyuk last in S tier. He's still S tier. He's still one of my favorite characters, but he kind of got annoying with how much he was trying to be like the hero. No, I'll do it. I'll go help you. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'm like, all right, just fucking calm down, dude. Who is my favorite in A tier? Anjo's dad is probably my favorite in A tier. I really liked the assembly member. I'd probably put her above here. Hari, I would put below Guinam. I would put him, Junyoung, above this kid. I'd put Anjo above him. I'd put him above Nayeon. The science teacher, I don't know where I'd put. I think I would put the science teacher at the bottom of this. No, I wouldn't. Who am I kidding? I'll put him above these two, but I'll put him above Anjo too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it like this. Alright, B tier. The detective is my favorite of this bunch. Then I guess this one, he had really good comic relief. I liked his sacrifice the most, I guess, out of anybody. Then Woojin, then Archer Boy, then Guard Dude. C tier. I like the baby girl the most, the one who had the kid. Him next, probably, and then this girl that was bullied. Then military commander. D tier. Oh gosh, I don't know. I'll put the leg dude up at the top. I will put the kid probably next. Okay, as much as the pink sweater girl annoyed me, she's definitely better than these 3. I don't even remember this girl, but I know I did not like this girl. And honestly, I didn't like him either, so we're gonna put you above him. Okay, and then F tier, I don't even care. Sure, girl that died first. Oh, do I hate the bully or the principal the most? I hate the bully the most, honestly. Yeah. And then the principal goes above him. Okay, so that is my full character tier list of all of the characters in All of Us Are Dead. Let me know what you would rank for all of these people. Tell me if you disagreed with any of them, where you would put them, if someone's in S tier that you think should be in F tier, if you think someone that's in D tier should be in A tier. Let me know in the comments. I really like doing these, as I said. I'm sure I'm gonna do this with more shows in the future. As I said in my finale video, the next show that I'm gonna be watching is Kingdom. Be on the lookout for that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video. Follow my Twitter. I'll post it in the comments, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.